If you are somebody who is interested in getting fit and staying fit over the age of 40, listen up. This video is for you. I'm going to share with you a couple of different tips, strategies, ideas, things that I've implemented to both get fit and then stay fit over the age of 40. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather, and I make videos about yoga and fitness for those of us over the age of 40 who are working hard to build strong, healthy bodies that will carry us into our 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, so we can continue doing all of the things that we love to do, whether it is running or hiking or carrying your groceries in or being a recreational athlete, whatever that may be. And so what I wanted to do is share with you a couple things that I've found. I've documented and shared that I had a 60-pound weight loss transformation in my mid-40s. Took me about a year and a half. I do have a video. You can watch that video here. Fair warning, I do drop a couple F-bombs in there. I did mark it, just so you're aware, but I do share some of the details of what it took in order to be able to lose that weight. I was really interested in becoming a faster hiker. It wasn't necessarily a body transformation, but that's what ended up happening. All right, so as I started to lose the weight, I started to see the muscle that I had built in my 30s when I was doing fitness competitions. It was all still there. So you can go watch that video there if you're interested in learning more about that. But now this is 7 months after I reached my weight loss goal, and I've kept the weight off. I don't weigh myself as frequently as I used to. I don't track my food nearly as much as I used to either. So I've started to be able to figure out how to intuitively keep the weight off and get in shape, like really transform my body and just get fit AF. What I wanted to do is just make this follow-up video to that particular video 6 months later. Just how are we doing? What are we doing? And what are the things that I'm doing to be able to maintain this lifestyle? So what I want to make sure that we're very clear on here is that I am not an advocate for going hard and going home. Go big, go home. That is not my mindset any longer. It certainly was my mindset in my 20s and in my 30s, but as I've gotten into my 40s and now I'm approaching my 50s, I realized the value of recovery and nervous system reset, nervous system regulation. And I really truly believe that a lot of us, when we're in this phase of life where it's like, you're either in a couple different spots. If you're watching this video here, you might be somebody that's, I need to get back in shape. You were in shape. You're like, you got off the train here, need to get back on. You want to get back in shape. Maybe you're somebody who you've been training, you've been doing all of the work. Maybe you're not seeing the results that you want to see, or you're just like, I need some more tips and strategies on how to optimize my training. So you could be somebody that falls into one of those different categories. I'm a big advocate for active recovery and understanding what your body needs as far as that recovery. So when I talk about getting fit and staying fit over the age of 40, I break things into 4 different categories. They are nutrition, activity, sleep, and stress management. Sleep and stress management are 2 things that I don't think we talk about enough. I think that as we're talking about fitness, we're talking about body transformation, weight loss, training for a marathon, training for a high rocks, training for a Grand Canyon hike. We talk about the nutrition and what kinds of things should you be eating to fuel your body? What kinds of things should you be limiting because they don't necessarily align with your goals? And then we talk a lot about what kind of training do you need to do? What kind of thing do you need to do to get into the gym? What's your weight workouts look like? What does your cardio look like? What is the plan? You put together the plan, you execute the plan. What we don't talk enough about is the sleep and the stress management portion to that as well, okay? So more intensity is not always better. So if you're like on this nutrition and activity side of things, nutrition movement side of things, and you're like, well, I gotta get in better shape, so I'm gonna go harder. I'm gonna hit the gym harder. It's not always better. So we want to start focusing in on sleep and stress management. So stress management, what does that mean? That means doing things like breath work. Just taking 5 minutes a day to pay attention to how are you breathing? Are you breathing in deeply in through your nose? You're filling everything up, and exhale, let it go. Are you doing that? Or are you shallow breathing? Are you not taking in deep breaths? Your breaths are coming down into your upper chest. You're not really expanding everything and filling up your body with oxygen. Paying attention to your breath, doing some focused breath work is really going to help reset your nervous system, just kind of regulate things so that you're not in this constant fight or flight mode, this sort of go, 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 go mode all of the time. I will say when I was doing fitness competitions in my 30s, I was very much of the mindset of go hard, go big, go home. I was training. I was training, doing the cardio, getting the meal preps in, doing all the food stuff, tracking all of my food and everything. Plus I had a very demanding job, still have a very demanding job, but I've learned how to handle the stress management side of things. At that time, I didn't quite understand. I kept saying to my coach, I feel like I'm just not recovering. I am going to the gym, doing these workouts. I'm getting through these workouts. These are tough workouts, but I need a nap afterwards. Or the next day I'm so freaking sore, I can't even walk up the stairs or sit down on the toilet. And I'm conditioned. I'm in good shape. And so what I understand now is that importance of the stress management and just regulating your nervous system. So how do you do this? So you can do things like breath work. You can do things like yoga. You can do things like some focused mobility work, some active recovery. Maybe you like to go into the pool. One thing I like to do, go into the pool and just tread water. I wear a weighted vest or wear floating belts. I actually bought it because when I was recovering from a broken leg, I would go in the deep end and just do some water walking with the belt on. But what I've learned now, I absolutely love doing is I put the belt on, go into the deep end and just tread a little bit of water, just light movement. Your heart rate's getting up, but not super high or anything, but it's just moving your body and it's a nice flow state, relaxed way of moving. So pay attention to what are the things that you're doing to manage your stress. You are not going to get rid of stress. It's how do you respond to it versus react to it. I always say just in the short term, what kinds of things can you do to say no to? What kinds of things can you get off of your calendar? Either you say no to them, you delegate them to somebody else, or you say, no, not right now, but maybe we can do this next week or next month. Okay. Even to the point that my whole situation eventually got to the point where it was like, I had to move. I was living in the downtown area of the city that I was in, right next to a fire station. It was so loud all night. I wasn't getting any sleep. It was affecting my recovery. It was affecting my training. And it became this larger decision of like, all right, I got to break my lease and move. Okay. So that's not what I'm talking about here, but you might be in a situation like that. Whereas are you in a job that's just stressing you the F out? Are you in a relationship that's just stressing you the F out, that you've either got to make some changes in that job, in that relationship, or do you just need to make a complete pivot altogether? Okay. So when we're talking about getting fit AF and staying fit AF over the age of 40, nutrition, activity, sleep, stress management. So sleep and stress management are the missing components that we don't necessarily talk about. Now let's talk a little bit about that nutrition and the activity, the movement side of things. One thing that really helped me in this last 6 months of maintaining this weight loss, but then also continuing to transform my body, was really focusing on weightlifting as the priority. That is the priority of the things that the activity that I get each day. And I don't weight train every single day, but I do build it in throughout my week. I weight train anywhere between 3 and 5 days a week. I know that is what's going to build solid muscle on my body. It's going to help me build strong, lean muscle. It's going to help build up the strength in my ligaments and my tendons, all of those things. So I've shifted from weightlifting as a form of making my body look the way that I want it to look. It certainly does that. Weightlifting is what's really going to sculpt your body. But I've shifted my mindset more towards this is something that I'm doing to build a strong body so that I can hike, so that I can do these things. I've shifted that mindset. Okay. So weightlifting is the priority, but it's no longer the aesthetic side of things. It's more building strength in my body. The nutrition side of things, then my mindset also really shifted away from my 30s. My mindset was really around, I have to eat this way if I want to look this way. And it became this chore of, I'm eating chicken and fish and asparagus and broccoli and vegetables and salads and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I want pizza. And so when I started this body transformation journey, and then now that I've been able to sustain it, my mindset around nutrition shifted as well. And it's really more around the mindfulness of how I'm eating. One of the major things that I found when I started tracking my food during my weight loss journey, my body transformation journey, was that I was doing a lot of mindless snacking. And I started working from home in March of 2020. I still work from home. and I enjoy working from home. I like it. But what I did find is that I had endless access to snacks. And it was different from like when I was at work and I was going to an office, I had a desk. I had drawers that I could have put snacks in, but I just chose not to. I chose not to have them there because I knew that I would snack on them all day. Well, at home, working at home, you're sharing space with other people. And so what you can't usually do is say, hey, we're not going to have this stuff in the house anymore because I'm going to eat it. That's where a little bit of self-discipline comes in and says, okay, there's cookies in the cupboard right now. There's chips in the cupboard right now. I'm choosing not to eat them because they don't support my goals. Okay. And I will say I have snacks. I have what you might call a treat, an off-plan meal, whatever it might be. I do enjoy those, but not every single day. I'm not doing that every single day. Whereas I was doing that every single day. It was like in between meetings, go grab a couple cookies. You know what was really the big problem was those, if you go to Costco and you buy those big things of nuts that are filled with caramel and coconut and chocolate gooey goodness, grab a handful of those. I think one of those things is 75 calories. So if you grab 4 of them, we're talking 300 calories and you do that a couple times a day, it's a lot. That's what I found was that I was doing a lot of mindless snacking. And so my mindset around that has changed to more, this is the structured, disciplined approach I'm taking to my nutrition. I plan out my foods. I plan out what I'm going to eat, but I also plan out the snacks that I'm going to have. I will say too that sometimes when people are with me and they're like, you're eating that, you're eating a cookie, you're eating a brownie, you're eating this thing. I thought you didn't eat that kind of stuff anymore. And I'm like, no, I do. I'm adding it back in because when I was on this weight loss journey, it was like, I just want to get the weight off. I just want to do the body transformation. But now this is a lifestyle. This is something that I'm going to be doing the rest of my life. And I want to maintain the weight loss, but I also don't want to be like, I'm never having a brownie again. So I do plan that in there as well. So those are my tips for getting fit, staying fit after the age of 40. Pay attention to your nutrition, your daily activity, your sleep, your stress management. The aesthetics come along with it. So if you keep doing the work, the aesthetics come with it. Okay. So you get both. You get to be strong and you get to look good, feel confident in what you're wearing. I'll say too that in June, so if you're watching this into the future, you can get access to this. But in June of 2026, I'm running a 5-part series on yoga foundations for inflexible active adults over the age of 40. Why inflexible active adults over the age of 40? Because I do get a lot of people reaching out to me saying that they thought about trying yoga, but they're not flexible enough. To which I say that's sometimes why we go to yoga, is to build flexibility, to build mobility. There's the mindset, mindfulness stuff that comes with it too. But it's kind of like saying I don't go to the gym because I'm not in shape. Okay. So what I wanted to do is put together this program. I've got it put together already. It's a 5-part program. There's 5 Mondays in June. So each part will be released each Monday in June. It is really intended to be for those of you who are like you might be in a couple different camps here. You're somebody who is, I want to get back into a fitness journey. I don't know what that is. I'm open to exploring yoga. I will say this, I don't think yoga is enough for a body transformation. You need to be lifting weights. But it was really a catalyst for me because it brought awareness to the snacking that I was doing. Why? Because if I was snacking and then I would go to yoga class 2 hours later and I'm bending over and I got food in my stomach, it was really bringing awareness like how much I was doing that. Okay. So yoga, I always say it's a great place to get started. If you're just like, I'm in this spot, I need to get back into it. Yoga is a great place to get started. Or you're somebody who you've been active, you've been doing things, you've been training, you've been working hard, and you're just like, I am not recovering the way that I feel like I should be recovering. And maybe you've tried a yoga class here and there, you felt like maybe it wasn't for you, or you got to the yoga class and you're just like, I have no clue what's going on here. I don't know these words. I don't know what to do. Maybe you didn't feel very welcome. This is also for you. So this is really just intended to break down the basics, names of some of the poses. We're going to speak in English terms here. I'll share some of the Sanskrit terms because you might hear them, but we're going to do this in English and just sharing yoga studio etiquette. What is it like when you go to a yoga studio? I've been practicing yoga for a really long time. I've been to a lot of different studios. Every studio is different. So if you're interested in the yoga foundations for inflexible active adults over the age of 40, you can go to inflexible.yogabyheather.com. You can get signed up. It's May right now. These are going to be released the first on Mondays. There's 5 Mondays in June of 2026. These are going to be released on each Monday. You'll get an email when that's been released. We've got a playlist here on YouTube that will be available for free here on YouTube as well. And if you're watching this in the future, same thing, go to inflexible.yogabyheather.com, put your name, your email address in there, and you'll get it sent it right to you so you can watch it. It's something that you can do on your own, something that you can do as you have the time. And just, I hope that it helps you. You just feel a little bit more, maybe yoga is something that I can bring into my fitness workout routine as part of my active recovery, my stress management, even a little bit of movement. There's a lot of things that we can do in yoga that's really going to help to build strength as well. So if you like this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and maybe send it to somebody who you think might find it helpful. Talk to you soon.